Hi, Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and today we're going to make a bookmark for our planner. This is an illustrated faith planner that I received from Dayspring, and I am just going to make a cool bookmark for it out of some chopping mats. In fact, what I'm going to be using are leftovers from a Bible mat that I had created. So if you are interested, I will try to link up to the video on how to make a Bible mat out of these Dollar Store chopping mats. They're just pieces of plastic. Now you can definitely make Bible mats out of anything. I like making them out of these cheap chopping mats. So I just have leftovers, and so that's what I'll be using to make a really cool reusable bookmark in my planner. I'm also going to be using something from our fall planning kit. I think what I will use is Today. And so what I did was I printed out Today. I printed it out on cardstock. So I have a piece of cardstock paper here that I'll be using to place on my bookmark. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my printout already. I've got my chopping mat, I have my planner, and I'm also going to be using a cinch machine. You don't have to use a cinch machine. You can definitely use a hole punch. It will totally work. The cinch machine is just going to make it faster for me to do it. And since I have it, I'll use it. If I didn't have it, I wouldn't use it. So, but I will tell you how to do it the other way as well. So, as I go into my planner, I am just going to quickly look here, and I'm going to place my chopping mat here, and I know that I want it to stick out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it flush where my thumb is right now at the edge of this page, and then I'm going to just look here, and I'm trying to figure out where I want it. So I'm going to place it right here. I think that's where I want it to go. So I know that I can cut my chopping mat. In fact, what I'll probably do is keep it like this so I won't cut the top. I'm going to line it up with the top here, and then I'll just cut the bottom. So wherever I decide I want to cut, I'll just make a little mark with my Sharpie. So I'm just going to mark here along the bottom, and that's going to be my line. That's where I want to cut. The reason why I'm doing that is because I want the Today to be flush with the top of this surface, and I want the bottom to be flush with the bottom surface. So the Today will stick out. If I turn the page here, the Today will stick out here on the top. Like that. That's the plan. So what I'm going to do first is kind of decide what I want to cut. So if Today is going to be at the top, this is probably where it will go, right about there. So I'm really just placing, and I'll give you measurements in just a minute, but for now, as I'm looking, I think I want it there. I know this is going to have to come over here to the edge, so I'm probably going to cut off, let's see. I need about a ½ centimeter on this edge. So if I'm happy where it is there, then I just want to make a cut a ½ centimeter on the edge, but I prefer to cut the full centimeter. I'm going to cut the full centimeter because that is going to give me a half a centimeter on each side. So if Today is here, and that is about 1 centimeter from the edge, then I want this to also be 1 centimeter from the edge. So I'll cut 1 centimeter from the edge. Okay. Now I know that this part here is going to be where these holes are, and so that's a ½ centimeter. But for me, I want it to be I want the Today to line up about a centimeter from the edge. So what does that mean? That means it's going to be at this line. So where do I need to cut? On this line. So in order to make that cut, it's going to be at, looks like 1.5 inches of my leftover. Now for you guys, it'll be different. So I'm just going to go 1.5 inches, and not 1.5 inches, 1.5 centimeters, and 1.5 centimeters. Okay, so that's where I'm going to cut. And I'll do a measurement for you in just a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this by lining it up. And I'm just going to mark it with my Sharpie pen. That's where I'm going to cut. That's my cut line. So now I have 2 cut lines. So the total width of this when I'm done is going to be 3.5 inches, or for those of you who like centimeters, it's going to be about 9 centimeters, close to 9 centimeters. And as tall, it will be about a little under, about 9.5 inches. And for those of you who like centimeters, it's going to be 24 centimeters. So I'm just going to take my scissors and just cut this by hand. Now you could cut this with a machine if you want to, a guillotine if you have that, or a paper cutter, that's fine. I'm just going to cut mine out with scissors. Okay. Now, for those of you who are not going to be using a cinch machine like I'm going to be using, you are going to want to mark your holes. So if I'm marking my holes, the first thing I want to do is put this flush against this here. And then I'm going to mark my holes just with like a pencil or a Sharpie. And I'm just going to mark the center of the hole. So I know. With just a dot is totally fine. So you just want to put a little dot there. And now you know where you should put your hole punch, okay? In terms of where you place your hole punch, that is going to be 1/2 centimeter. So your hole punch is going to be probably, actually, I would probably do it at the start of your hole punch should be at 1/2 centimeter. So from 1/2 centimeter down on your bookmark, 1/2 centimeter down is where you want to actually do the top of your hole punch. So the top of your circle of your hole punch is going to go right there. So if I had a hole punch to show you, I would, but I don't have one here. I would just take my hole punch, line it up, and the top of the hole punch would need to go here. Or you could put the bottom of the hole punch here and make sure the circle goes right here. So the circle needs to go right there, and you would just punch, punch, punch all the way down, okay? Once you're done punching, you're going to have holes. You're going to take your scissors and you're just going to snip the hole, okay? And I'll be doing that with the cinch anyway, so I'll show that to you in just a minute. But that's how you would do it if you don't have a cinch. If you do have a cinch like I have, then I'm going to grab the cinch and it's going to do it for me. So with the cinch, this is a cinch machine, and its job is to do spirals. So basically the way this works is if I have, the first thing I need to do is just punch the holes. So I'm just going to line this up. I push it all the way forward as far as I can, the little guide here, and I just hold this in place, and then I just press down, and that gives me my first bunch of holes. Okay, it's just easier. It's just easy that way. Then I need to adjust this based on how long this is. So this is about 9.5 inches. So at about 9.5 inches, at 9 inches I need to pull peg 6. At 10 I need to pull peg 8. So I'm going to pull peg 6. And what that's going to do is it's not going to punch this number 6 hole. And then I move this all the way out like this. I line up my cinch machine. I can actually, there's a little knob here, if you can see. And I'm just going to push that down to hold my piece of plastic in place so it doesn't move. And now that I have it in place and I have peg 6 pulled out, I'm going to press down and back up, release that peg, that black peg down here, and pull it out. Okay. Now I'm going to check my spirals and see if I did it right. Yep, I did. Yay! Sometimes I don't do it right, so it's nice to know when I do it right. I'm going to put the cinch away. It doesn't have a lot of jobs, that cinch, but that's one of the jobs it does. So now we're caught up to you, where you were probably using your hole punch. Now I'll be using, mine are all punched now, and now I'll be using my scissors just to snip the middle of each of these circles, just like you're going to do with your hole punch. I'm just snipping right in the middle of the circle, just on the edge, on that little ½ centimeter. That is where I'm cutting. What this does is it opens up the circles so that you can place your bookmark in your page. Okay, so now I have my bookmark. I'm going to round the edge here. I'm going to cut this a little bit off because there's just a little bit of black on there that I didn't mean to not cut off. And then I'm going to go ahead and round this with my scissors, and if I had a corner rounder I could use that too. And I'm going to go ahead and just place this down into my page and push it down. Ta-da! So now I have my bookmark, and it looks kind of cool, except for it's not done. So the next thing I want to do, is put the label on it that says today, so that it's poking out on the top as best as I can get it to poke out. So what I'm going to use for that is, you can use glue for yours if you want to. I'm just going to use this Xyron 2.5 inch Create a Sticker, and what I do is I just place my little die cut, see this little die cut, into the machine, just like this. I just slide it in there. Okay, it's a perfect size for this, and I'm going to run it through by cranking the knob until it comes out, and I'm just going to pull it out just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm just going to rub off any excess glue or sticky tape that is left over in these corners. If you're not sure if you have all of it or not, you can definitely take a little eraser and just pull up any extra adhesive. Okay, easy, right? Now I have a sticker, and there is just one more place that I like to get, and that's right in that little A. There we go. And now I can place this down on my Bible mat, and I could wait and pull it out. And pull this bookmark out if I want to. It's totally okay. I'm just not going to do that. It's fine. I don't need to. So now I can turn this and I can see today poking out right there from my planner. So there we go. So cool, right? And that is how you create one of these little cool today bookmarks. Of course, you can always add other embellishments. We can come in here with some other little cute things. I think I will. I did go ahead and cut out quite a few of them. I did want to also let you know that when I first cut these out with my Silhouette machine, I did just trace the outline on my Silhouette machine. And when I did that, it didn't cut out the middle of these letters. So I just want to remind you, when you are using your Silhouette machine or your Cricut, this one, in order to get it to not have the little white circles and the 0 and the D, you need to trace it and cut it out and not just trace and cut out the outline. So that's just different than what we usually do with our stickers. So I'm going to go ahead and just spend a little bit of a quick time here and then just add a few of these little extra embellishments, and I'll do that. I'll go ahead and use the sticker machine for that as well. I'm just going to place the little girls in there. She's so cute. Maybe I'll use 2 of the little different ones, maybe 2 of the gray ones. And maybe I'll use the dog ones too. Maybe I'll use the red dog ones. And I'm just going to run it through the sticker machine. Make stickers really easy this way. Going to rub off any extra adhesive. Okay. And now I have these cute stickers, little die cut stickers here of this girl that is just absolutely adorable. And she's got her little dog right here hanging out with her in the wind. Alright, let's do one over here too. Maybe one right here at the bottom. I could just go on and decorate for hours. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them for you. I hope that you will subscribe and like our channel so that you don't miss out on any of these fun tips for your planning and for your Bible journaling. I hope you have a fabulous day and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye!